Hey there, and welcome into the third annual Hart Men's Volleyball Media Day. I'm your host today, Jillian Carroll, anchor with KCTV5 News, and so excited because we are hanging out with Culver-Stockton College head coach Jeffrey Lipton, also with Jacob Todd. Guys, thanks so much for your time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing
Good.
well.
Glad to be here.
Good. Good. I hope you're staying warm. Today we're gonna just jump right in. Coach Lipton, you're leading the Wildcats, so year two. What are some things that you're excited about that you've seen in preseason this far?
Well, in comparison to last year, I think when I came on, I told you there was no illusions about where we were given the size of our squad. We're a little bit bigger squad than we were last year. So practices are a lot more competitive. Players are really excited. Great thing about this year is that, like last year, a lot of guys are going to get to play, which means we're going to be able to give them the kind of experience that can only come from playing in the heart. You got to come prepared to play every day. There's no gimmies. You step on that court, everybody knows you better be ready to play. And I think that, with the addition of a new freshman class, we have a lot of freshmen who are going to step into playing positions right away. And I just think we're going to be more competitive. Are we going to blow up the world? No, but we're going to be a lot more competitive. And I just say, we are not to be, let's say, not to be, we're no more, we're not doormats for anybody.
So to be taken seriously this year. I like that.
I would like to say that we are going to be a better playing squad and to be treated with respect as we treat everybody else.
Very cool. Well, talk to us a little bit about Jacob, what he brings to the court.
Well, Jacob is our only graduating senior. Over the last year, he has developed a lot as a player. He's I think, a great leader, a genuinely nice person, and he's playing a lot better volleyball. Has improved, I would say, a lot. So he brings playing, leadership, the whole package, and I'm sorry that he's a senior. Let's just put it that way.
The good ones are always hard to lose, right? Well, Jacob, we heard a little bit about you on the court. Talk to us a little bit about some of your career goals and plans for after school.
Right. So I am a senior again, so I'll be graduating this May. I'm getting a degree in mathematics and a minor in finance. The idea is to get hired, hopefully, right after graduation, and I'm pursuing actuarial science. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Jacob, tell me a phrase or a word of the year, I would say, as far as the Wildcats go this year. So for 2024, what are your thoughts?
So for 2024, yeah, I would say um, competitive, certainly, compared to last year. It was just more about survival. That's the word I would use. But this year, it's a lot more competitive in practice, certainly, and I'm hoping that translates onto, match days. So, yeah.
Yeah, love to hear that. That's a great word. Jacob, one more for you. Talk a little bit about the high caliber play. There's some big rivals in the conference. Is there a specific team you look forward to playing this year?
Yeah, I would say Mount Mercy, certainly. There's a history. We have some players that have transferred over there. My brother actually plays at Mount Mercy. So, yeah, I have one parent cheering for Culver-Stockton and one parent for Mount Mercy. So, yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to.
That's very cool. Coach, back your direction. So you obviously coached last year. You've been very transparent. This is going to be a different year for you and the squad. How do you feel just the quality is rising as far as the volleyball, like the quality of play your guys are putting on the court this year?
Again, when you have a year, when I came in and I thought we were going to have this number of players and we only have 10, as Jacob just said, when we're playing and it's survival first, not anything else, we did win a couple of games, and those games are really hard fought. And we struggle with some injuries. You can't get a player injured when you only have 10 players. Here, we're up to a squad of about 15, 16. Again, we have a couple of freshmen who are going to jump right into the starting lineup. And I guess our game is going to be a little bit more together, and it will have a little bit more purpose. And again, in this rebuilding process for the years that we're looking, this was a very good year to stabilize our program recruiting wise. So I'm looking at, we're playing a lot of matches this year. And of those matches, 13 of them are non-conference, which gives us a lot of opportunity to get everybody playing time and get everybody into what NAIA volleyball is and what Heart of America volleyball does, you know. So that's it, and as the years go on, I hope that as we build on these recruiting classes, that we will build Culver-Stockton to be, not just a little more competitive, but a lot more competitive and really challenge what is, a really tough league.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that mentality and that approach. Let's talk a little bit about the guys. Who are some of the hitters that have shined for you so far in preseason?
Well, Jacob is one of them. We have a returning sophomore who was a starter last year, Malachi Gennady. And then I have a freshman outside hitter by the name of Aaron Jurenka, who will probably play right side. And then we have a returning middle, but we also have a new middle from Chicago, Zach Kowalowitz, who has been, I think for me, very inspirational to the fact that he's come on and done more than I could have expected. So if he's producing in the game, even to what I think he can produce, I think that makes a difference for us. The other maybe bigger play, again, having a defensive specialist is nothing new to volleyball, but we brought in a freshman who we believe is he's the Energizer Bunny times 10. So I think that he will have an impact in the game, but we also have a couple of other defensive specialists that we believe are going to sort of solve the problem. We have two returning setters. One's a junior, one is a sophomore in Owen Randall is a junior. Matt Reese is a sophomore. Both of them are, I think, really good, solid, quarterbacks. They can do the job and then some. So it's just a matter of us sort of taking the next jump evolutionary wise to our attitude. Last year, there's a lot of good teams out there. I make no bones about that. I didn't make any bones about it last year. When we go to Park or we go to Grandview or we go to William Penn, Mobat, Mo Valley, Pharmacy, wherever we're going, you can't sort of be a wallflower. You're either engaged or you, as they say, you're going to get run over. I don't think we got run over, but we were, it was tough, and I said it was going to be tough. I told the players it was going to be tough, and they knew it, and they took it. They took it like really good competitors. This year, they know it's going to be tough, but I think that the attitude is with what we brought on, our ability to practice in a much better environment with having more people should bring better results all the way around. And what those results are going to be, I never say. I don't sit here and go, we're going to win everything. I know we're going to win some matches this year and a lot more than we did last year. And we're going to just be a different team. And as part of the long-term growing process for our program, I'm hoping that Jacob, as a senior, is sort of his legacy is to be here when things are moving in the right direction and know that when he leaves, he's leaving something that is moving in the right direction. Yeah. So that's, again, Rome wasn't built in a day, and champions don't, it's not the NFL. I can't have a big draft, bring in all his players, get that quarterback, and now we're going to a Super Bowl. It just doesn't work like that. When you're building collegiate volleyball programs, you've got to really work hard to bring in the right people and then let them do the job. So I'm hoping that Jacob and Owen, who is our other captain, are going to lead our guys to say, hey, you gotta start looking at us. You've got to start taking a better look at us and not just go, where, you know, again, we're not doormats.
Love that. I love the competitive approach and just step by step, day by day. Well, Jacob, you're tasked with leading this squad. And as you guys have talked about, it was a battle of resiliency last year. This year, you're coming to compete. Talk a little bit about how you're embracing that leadership role this year.
Right. So, in my opinion, leadership is not some high, lofty position that you're just kind of gifted and kind of just sucks to be everybody else. I'm a big believer in leading by example, certainly. So, if I expect others to be a certain way and do things, I need to be fully willing and at times even do those things myself. So, yes, that's what I would say.
Love that. Coach, back your direction. You spent some time on the East Coast. Talk to us a little bit about how the East Coast volleyball scene compares to Midwest.
Well, coming from let's say NCAA Division III, you got the majority or a large portion of Division III programs on the East Coast. So there's a lot more volleyball just everywhere in the metropolitan area, going all the way up as far as Maine, all the way down to Virginia. And then if you include Pennsylvania and all these, all the states in between, there's just so much volleyball there. There is D1 volleyball out there, not a lot of NAIA, but volleyball is very competitive. Here, we have NAIA Division 1, 2. There is a wealth of volleyball in this area that's been here a long time, in the Chicago area, in the St. Louis area, and now that Missouri has volleyball as a certified sport for high school, Kansas City is growing as a hub, and other parts of Missouri are growing. So I sort of look at it as, in a matter of time, we'll be producing some of the best volleyball players naturally through this growth. And I hope that we, as a college in Missouri, will start taking advantage of all of that. But again, volleyball is a lot more competitive nationally.
Mhm.
It just so happens that when you have our conference, all of the 10 teams in our conference are, at least 5 of them are in the top, in the top 10 in the nation. So we make waves, and I think that we embrace the fact that our conference is tough. And I'm not going to say that there aren't other NAIA teams out there that play. There are. I've seen them. So the NAIA is comparable to any of the volleyball out there, and I think that sometimes people look down at the NAIA as being, the stepchild of the NCAA. No, there is great volleyball here in the Midwest, and the NAIA has some really high quality volleyball. And I knew what I was doing when I left the East Coast. It's fun to be here, and it's fun to be building this program to where we want it to be. So again, we're going to take our licks, we're going to get our wins, and we're going to grow from that. And I want my team to always I was talking about this the other day with my assistant coach. We need to respect the game always. We can't get too high on ourselves, and we can't be pointing our fingers at others as not being good enough. If we do our job, we play our game has to speak for us, not us, and we can't walk into a room, hold our noses high and go who we are. It just doesn't work like that. In the men's game, in men's sports in general, we bond to compete, or we compete to bond.
Mhm.
So you want respect, you got to go out there and you got to earn it the hard way. You got to play. So that's what I'm about, and that's where our program is at the moment. And I hope to be moving it along, as we go.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Jacob, what's your take on the heart. There's absolutely no shortage of talent, of high caliber volleyball. Does that motivate you even more as an athlete?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, as you said, there's probably at least 4 or 5 teams in our conference that are top 10 in the nation. Um, and it's definitely that's the gauntlet right there. It's thrown down, and in my opinion, it's a lot more fun to play against the highest level competitors. Certainly, like the Parks and the Grandviews. It's just it brings out the best in you, and if you have that competitor in you, you really want to shine against those exceptional teams. So yeah.
Well, guys, it sounds like you're headed in the right direction. Sounds like preseason, you've got your head together. Everyone is competitive and wanting to make a statement this season. I wish you both the best of luck. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us. We appreciate it.